Okay, so had our first pre-season games at the weekend. 2 against Peterborough, 1 against Peterborough Northern Star. Not really overly concerned about results, to be fair. I don't think the manager was. He split the teams around so that to be fair, we had a crack in each game. You could see the different level of Peterborough. I think that it was good for the boys to go in there and they've been in 4 games, we've been in 1, and some of their finishing was great, and there's some things that we've got to work on. But it was first game. You can't really take anything at the first game. On that first game subject, again, football's crazy, right? I mean, I think we took a strong team to Peterborough Northern Star. All of our good younger players. There's a number of those players in that squad which will be. I can see them getting contracts for the start of this season. And then the Peterborough Northern Star manager gets the boot because Kettering beat them, or Kettering 11 beat them 4-3. Now, realistically, we got humped by Peterborough. They're two divisions clear of us. We're 2 divisions clear of Peterborough Northern Star. If that's how the rationale works, I should be having a go at our manager. But why we didn't, why the game was so tight. So I know some of those crazy things in football. I can't comment on how another club wants to conduct itself and how it wants to do things. I don't know if there's things going on behind the back of the scenes there, but it just seems strange to sack your manager when a team from above comes and beats you, and a strong team. If it had been, a 21 side or something, then fair enough. But there's some decent players in that squad. If anyone saw the lineup, will know that. You got Lorne, for example. Lorne was at Hartlepool last year, so you can't turn around and say that he's a trialist, or he's a trying out. He's firmly within our plans for this season, and Bag 2 got an assist, so he was pretty pleased with the game, and I say just those crazy things that happen in football. Not even kick the ball first pre-season game, you can't take anything into it, and the guy gets the boot. We've gone through pre-seasons where we've won every game and then start the season terribly. We've gone through pre-season where we haven't won a game and started amazingly. So I think pre-season is just pre-season. I don't think people should take it too seriously. It's about trying to work out what get some game time into players' legs, and then try and work out what formations work for you and anything, other stuff. So I was surprised at that, to be fair. Just weird. Another weird one this week, Macclesfield. Getting relegated from the EFL, it stinks as far as I'm concerned, really. And this is nothing against the league or the team that's been reprieved, but you're there on merit, and it just stinks to me that the league don't want them in their league. They've got a right to be there. They weren't the worst team in the league. They were second bottom, but Stevenage were at the bottom, hadn't won a game. Macclesfield started with a points deduction, got points deducted, and still managed to finish above them. And the league then take it, for whatever reason, personally, or in my view, they just don't want that club in their league, and they've then pushed to get the points that were suspended put on, which forces them to go down. Clubs are where they are on merit, whether you like them or not, whether they've got bigger budgets or not, whether their facilities are great or not. Clubs get to the position they are in the league because they've won the league, and clubs get pushed down the leagues because they haven't done enough to stay in the league. If we're going to go down that route, and I have nothing wrong with the American franchise system, let's just franchise it. Let's turn around and say we only want certain clubs in our leagues, and there's no promotion and no demotion. As soon as we start messing around with that, or we're trying to do tricky little things to promote or demote clubs, and I think people banging on about the integrity of the game during the COVID and the voiding of leagues. This is, in my view, playing with the integrity of the game. That Macclesfield should be in the EFL, and Stevenage should be playing in the National League. That's now reversed. So for no other reason than I think they deserve it. I hope Macclesfield go up this year. I hope that they can bounce back. I hope they can put a squad together. Hopefully have no financial problems, and they can get back up there and stick two fingers up to the league and see what they do then. But that's just my view. I'm sure lots of people will disagree with that, but if you're not going to be where you are on merit, what's the point? A lot of people came to our ground and what I've done, what this, what that. Ground gradings are important, but you don't have to serve caviar and champagne in the bar just because you're in a Premier League. You're there because you've worked your way to that position, and I think the league should respect that, whether they whether they have concerns over the future stability of a club. Until the club's actually at the point where they are unstable, then I don't think the league should be stepping in and trying to manoeuvre them out of the in the league. But there you go, football. What can you say? Just a quick point about salary caps. Obviously, been introduced in Leagues 1 and 2. There is talk about trying to reduce that into non-league. I don't think it's on the National League Board's agenda at the moment. Obviously, I'm sure they'll review that depending on what happens moving forward. Personal opinion, I don't agree with salary caps. If I understand the reasoning behind them, trying to control mismanagement of funds and things like that, but I think if you're a poorly run business, you're a poorly run business. I don't think that's going to change any. Also, I think it's unfair to clubs that are more supported or raise more revenue. Why should they be held back? If you're Sunderland and you're getting 20 odd thousand, and everybody else in your league's getting 8,000, why should you have to suffer that? Why should your aspirations of going back to a higher division be curtailed because you're not allowed to spend on players that you could obviously afford to do because you're generating more revenue? So, not a fan of it. Understand the rationale behind it, but I think it's unfair. It's not a level playing field for clubs. I don't think you can say that a smaller club are going to be better off because a bigger club are not allowed to spend as much money, because at the end of the day you will find your natural level based on your fan base, based on your how much profit you can make and what players you can attract and things like that. As I say, in standard business terms you're not restricted, so why should we be restricting brands, if you like, companies, if you like, just because they're a football team, and stopping some of these larger clubs trying to climb back up the pyramid? Doesn't work for me. Okay, so just to wrap up, a lot of people asking about player updates. I know KTFC fans are keen to know what's going on. We've only had one pre-season game, so obviously the manager's still looking at players that he may want to take on. So there's a number of trialists, but got a game tomorrow, got a game Tuesday, so I would hope maybe by next week we might have a couple more signed. What we do have though, we did a first team media day. The Scholars also did a media day, and I've just had all the raw files, and to be fair, there's some pretty decent celebrations on there. So these are the raw green screen celebrations of some of the Scholars. So you never know, hopefully we'll see some of these boys start coming through and see them in the first team in a few years. You want my